check this out right here. Clunky, 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 clunky. Oh, can't even spin it. Look, it stops right there. That pinion is shot, boys. Hey guys, today Cody's going to show you how to change a whole rear axle on a 2017 Chevy Tahoe. I believe this will work for 2015 to 2020. It's got the old air shock option on this one, and it'll work for it'll be the same for the Yukons, Suburbans, Sierras, Silverados. Check it out. If you take all your brake lines off and your calipers, you don't have to bleed your brakes. There's just these little brackets go along your brake line, and the whole line assembly will float above the axle where we're coming down. We'll go ahead and take these caliper bolts off. What are those, 13, Cody? 12 or 13 or something? Yeah. We'll take this caliper and bracket off and then set it right about here. And step one, we're gonna take the rotors off as well. Hit it with a hammer on your flat spots there and there. Set the rotors to the side because these rotors are much better than the one on the donor axle. Let's go. We got an 18 millimeter on those back two caliper bolts right there. Show you this side. Yeah, I think that was a 13 on those calipers. Yeah, 13. And you can just set your caliper on top of this trailing arm. And then push our brake line back away from the springs, and it's free floating now out of the way. 18 millimeter on the back of this caliper bracket. We're gonna take the rotor off and disconnect the e-brake on both sides here. I guess I will go ahead and tackle those 4 drive shaft bolts and get the drive shaft disconnected. Okay, I'm taking off the sway bar link here, 19 millimeter on the nut, using an 18 on the flat spot right there on the sway bar link. That was 11 millimeter on the 4 drive shaft bolts. Get those 4 bolts off in your caps and smack it with a hammer or pry bar. Pop that drive shaft out right there. Smack-a-roo. Yo, here's our new axles. The parking brakes look immaculate compared to the axle with almost 200,000 miles on it. This one only had 40-some thousand miles on it. So we just ripped the e-brake hardware apart. See? Because we got to get that e-brake cable off, which we did, and swung all the way back there. And here's the wheel speed sensors. The junkyard did a good job of not cutting them and actually disconnecting them for them, which was super sweet. They just hang right up in here, disconnect. See, right there. We're on jack stands now. You got a little tension on those springs, nothing crazy. Put the floor jack in the middle for extra support. Smack that drive shaft with your hammer real gently. Popped out of place easily, didn't have to use any penetrant or anything. E-brakes are hung up. Caliper we want to hang on a non-axle surface. After the shocks are loosened right there, 21 millimeter, swing back. Then we'll take this nut off, and this trailing arm will swing up, and then we'll just have that trailing arm there. And we want to lift the vehicle. If you're doing this at home, you might want to use floor jacks and lower the jacks evenly for whatever tension those springs have on them. But yeah, did I miss anything, guys? Let me know. We got Cody hooking up the wheel speed sensors. We did disconnect those. Kept the ones with the new axle because most of the time, let me wipe my camera off. Here in Michigan, where they plug in, see this block, they plug in and read your wheel speed. When you go to pull them out, the plastic just breaks or whatever. And did I explain this earlier? Yeah, junkyard guys were really nice wherever you got this from and didn't just snip them on the new one. So, yeah, all right. So we set the axle down on the ground, lowered the vehicle onto it, making sure the coil springs stayed in their perches. You got one center hole down there, you got a perch down here. And just brought the vehicle down. And if you're at home without a lift, you're gonna have it on 2 floor jacks, and you're gonna be coming up with the floor jack instead of the body coming down. You get it? So as they touched, we were able to push down on the trailing arms and get the bolts through. Brought it down a little bit more, and then the shocks would reach. Tightened all 3 of those bolts. We did tilt the axle back on the ground and make sure this trailing arm was under the axle when we started pushing everything together. So this one came up into it, this one came down into it, just started the bolts loosely, and with everything loose, lifted up in the air and then tighten everything. We got the old sway bar link off the old axle, just 4 10mm bolts, boom, 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 boom. Cody got his cover cleaned with a new gasket, new fluid filled in there, 2.75 quarts. He went with AMSOIL, and now it's just hooking up all the little pieces, brake lines through their loops. This little clamp's gonna go around the axle. We got the last differential cover bolt that goes in there with the brake lines. Drive shaft 11mm bolts started to get routing the e-brake cable back around to its loops. There's 2 little clips there. And then we just gotta pop those e-brake cables, hook it to this hook, pull back, slide into the slot with the spring pulled back. Transfer our brakes and calipers back on. Everything's looking good. Going pretty smooth with the install. Removal took twice as long. So why did we go with a whole new axle with 40,000 miles for $500 than rebuilding this? Well, vehicle's got 170,000 miles. I don't know, something like that. This is gonna outlast it. The parts for the rebuild are more than this axle itself. But check this out right here. Clunky, 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 clunky. Oh, can't even spin it. Look, it stops right there. That pinion is shot, boys. And little bit of fluid there. The vent hose was not plugged up at all. Starting to get some fluid out of here. So you're looking at full rebuild. Whatever. But yeah, man. That guy's clunked out. And I was like, yo, your pinion bearing's going out. He said in the next day or 2 after I told him, it got way worse. So sometimes when you got a bad bearing, you can drive it for a year or 2 before it gets horrible. This one, it might go out tomorrow. It might go out next month. It might go out next year. Don't know. Do your maintenance. Change your fluids. All right, fellas. She's all installed. Brakes put back together. Reverse order. We got 5 hours on the clock with 3 guys moving slow to medium speed. Everything put back in professionally. It's actually better than it was before because we got parking brakes all hooked up properly now and all that. Yeah. A couple of guys who's just hanging out on a Saturday. Right, Cody? Just moseying.
Nothing I'd rather be doing.
So, 5-hour job, 1 supervisor, 2 guys moving slow. Not too shabby. Have a good one.